This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
Recording has started.
Hello, friends and neighbors, and welcome once again to Super Connectivity. I'm your host, Charlie the Professor Esser, and with me, as always, is the man who knows no fear.
Phil Perich.
That's the guy. Hey, Philip, welcome back to Super Connectivity, our hotspot for discussing all the crazy fan theories in comics, movies, and television. Though we do that a little bit over on Capes and Lunatics too.
Yeah, but I mean, speaking of movies, did you see that new trailer for that little movie that's coming out in the end of April?
You mean Electric Boogaloo? Yes.
Yes.
In fact, me and Tristan were watching it today, and Tristan, wait, go back, let's watch it again. Yes, he was wondering why is there only red things, you know? And I said it's to highlight. It's a visual technique to highlight that color. He says, "Oh, like blood." It's like, yes, like blood.
Like someone's gonna die.
I actually had to rewatch it to see if Okoye actually was in, because I noticed that Nebula is one of the Avengers at the end of it, which is interesting because I don't even think Nebula has ever been an Avenger in the comic books.
There is that storyline where she seduced Dr. Druid and kind of brainwashed the team. That's the closest she's ever got. Well, that wasn't even Nebula, was it? Yeah, that was a weird thing, but it looked like Nebula.
That guy is always thinking with his lower brain. His base chakra, if you will. Yes. But okay, so here's what I want to say about this. It's a good trailer. That Peggy Carter dialogue. Was that from another movie?
I forget. What did she say?
The world has changed, and it sounded like it could have been from Captain America: First Avenger, but her voice didn't sound like it was from Captain America: First Avenger.
Or I wonder if maybe was it that opening scene in Ant-Man, maybe, like talking to Hank Pym.
Oh, maybe that is.
Because trying to get him to share the Ant-Man tech. Maybe the world is changing. Maybe I can't remember, but that might be it.
That might have been it. I don't know. I'm just hoping we get Peggy Carter in this. I was so disappointed we got no Peggy Carter in Captain Marvel. I mean, I understand why logistically. That's one thing I do appreciate about the MCU. They actually do understand logistics.
Yes.
And that you can't always have every character just show up unless it's Nick Fury.
Well, there's some movies he hasn't been in.
Yeah, but Nick Fury is the guy who just suddenly surprises you. Oh, I was behind you the whole time, But I was disappointed not to see Peggy in that, but maybe she'll be in somewhere in this movie. Let me tell you one of the things that I found the most fascinating is we can now hopefully dispel the whole Scott Lang is time traveling, because as we see when he comes back, he's actually, and it took him a little time to get out of the quantum realm. Because but when he comes back, he is coming back to the modern day period, because we see him looking at all of the missing posters that are up everywhere. So that's cool. So yes, we can finally dispel this whole ludicrous idea that they're going to use time travel to fix this, because this ain't the X-Men, people. We're not doing that stuff.
We'll see. We'll see.
Maybe after the 22nd, maybe after the 20th, then we can start doing time travel. But this is not the time. X-Men and their time travel. Yeah.
Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix. Yeah, it's coming. Is there time travel in that?
I don't. Well, in the original comic book there wasn't, but who knows with the
who knows what they'll do now. Yeah, it's their last hurrah. Let them get it out of their system. Maybe Phoenix destroys the entire X-Men universe at the end of that. That's a great post-credit scene. It's just the Phoenix Force just expanding out from Earth and just engulfing the entire universe.
There you go.
There you go. And that's the end of that story. Yeah, we are all looking forward to it. And I said they did say they could, if they wanted to, toss in an end credit scene because they would have the legal right to. So
yeah, as long as that deal's finalized, which it's supposed to be by March 20th.
Yeah. So, and here's what I'll tell you: it wouldn't surprise me if they haven't already taped one or two end credit scenes for just such an emergency. It wouldn't surprise me.
Oh yeah, just in case. Yeah,
just in case. Yeah, because I mean, how long does it take to shoot it? And honestly, like the one I described over on Super Connectivity or Capes and Lunatics. Scroll down. You know, that one you don't even have to do any. That one you could actually even get away with not even because you don't actually have the character in it. You just have the implication of the character.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say you don't even need like a character. All you have to do is throw up something with like a 4 or an X on it, and everyone's like, "Oh,
yes," you know, or just have Peter start his new job as an intern at what's this place? The Baxter Building. Oh man, that is your great one. That is your great end credit scene. Is just Peter like trying to. I got to get to this address. I have an internship I'm starting today. Oh, here it is. And just give the address of the Baxter Building, which I don't know off the top of my head. And then just have him get there and just have it say, "Oh, here we go." And as he walks in the door, they pan up and just see Baxter Building. There you go. There you go. You know, you could have even already shot that with Oscorp. And then just, okay, take out Oscorp right in Baxter Building. Yeah, so anything's possible, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but let's talk about the actual trailer. It's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's sad.
But I hear a big theory that like they're not showing much because everything we've seen in the first trailer and this trailer is probably like only like the first 20 or 30 minutes of a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, that's usually that's something they have been doing. They like to do that because, you know, obviously they don't want to give spoilers.
Especially for this, yeah.
Which is why I said, I bet you Thanos dies in the first 20 minutes. And as I said, he did. Didn't take, but he did. They do kill Thanos in the first 20 minutes. I will always stand by that. I was right about that. But in this one, yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me that this is mostly, or if there's stuff that's beyond the first 20 minutes, you know, they're minor things like the whole Thor Captain Marvel scene. But I got to tell you, man, me and Chris, we kept on rewinding that, double checking that, and because I was not sure that was Stormbreaker.
Oh,
you don't see the axe part of it. And then at the very end, Chris says, no, I see that the axe is there. And it's like, but this is what I noticed after that. And this I thought was interesting. When he leans his arms on the hammer, that is a very long stick. I think Groot has been growing.
Oh, maybe because the handle's part of Groot. I wonder if it's adaptable or something.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. That maybe it grows good. Maybe it'll eventually turn into a walking stick for some reason.
Oh,
I'm just tossing it out there. You know, if someone
I miss that stuff where like Thor had like a human identity and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I loved the old Don Blake character. You know, that was, you know, I always liked that because it was a delightful pastiche on the Captain Marvel mythos.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why in the Marvel vs. DC, that's why Shazam and Thor fight in that, you know, because Thor really was meant to be kind of a Captain Marvel, even a Captain Marvel Jr. kind of period. Because again, also he was lame. Yeah, but you know, there's. And I'll get to, because that actually is the one what if story I really would love for them to look at when we talk about the what if series coming to Disney Plus.
Oh yeah.
Yes. You know, I always thought it would be a great story to have Loki be the one banished, not Thor.
I
because
mean,
Loki,
you could easily say, oh, there's easily many reasons why they would banish Loki.
Yeah, but the idea to teach Loki humility, and I always thought, wouldn't it be great if Loki got sent to Earth, but he'd be a lawyer, but they'd give him a stammer, a lawyer with a stammer,
Jim Carrey and Liar Liar.
Yeah, well, so let's not even invoke Jim Carrey with Loki. No, the only Loki that needs to be associated with a Jim Carrey film which should not have Jim Carrey in it,
The Mask.
is Cummings from The Mask. That was The Mask 2, I believe, with what's his name, the red-haired boy. But yes.
Yeah, but I wonder, instead of you could even do it's not even to teach Loki humility. Like, what if Loki's it's supposed to be a permanent banishment to Earth, but then Loki proves himself as a hero and eventually gets let back into Asgard or something.
Well, yeah, well, the idea that I imagine is that you basically have, if you have Odin banish Loki in a human form on Earth, that he now has to deal with and come to terms with. And then he regains the power of Loki. Meanwhile, you have Thor continue on his rampage of drunken, revels, and eventually becomes the villain.
And Loki has to stop Thor.
Yes, then he has to stop Thor, who is, mythologically, he can be a war god. He can be a very cold and unfeeling guy, So
he can also be swayed by a pretty face too.
Yeah, well, and we all know Hiddleston certainly has a pretty face. So, oh goodness, yeah. So that is interesting. We still don't know what's going on with the Asgardians or Valkyrie and Lady Sif. Although I've heard that Lady Sif might be in it. I don't know.
Well,
I've heard. Yeah,
well, I was gonna say. I mean, everyone keeps theorizing, "Oh, someone's gonna die." Everyone keeps saying Captain America or Iron Man. What if they kill Thor? Because they've already killed a lot of the Asgardians. The only ones left that we know of really are Sif and Valkyrie.
Yeah, I mean that is a possibility.
I mean, if they don't bring Loki or anyone back, I mean, you could. What are they gonna do with Thor?
Well, actually, and there actually are a lot of Asgardians that are still alive because a lot of them escaped.
But the ones we really know about are dead, like Loki and the Warriors 3. Even Odin died in Ragnarok.
Yeah. Well, but then again, he also, there's clearly more to Odin being dead than just being dead, because he does come back to Thor in a vision.
Well, that's what I was thinking, because you could kind of kill Thor off, and if they wanted to bring him back eventually, you could, because you could have Thor die sacrificing himself, and he makes it to Valhalla, and he sees Odin's there, the Warriors 3, everyone's there. But then one of the last scenes of Endgame, a figure turns around and he finally redeemed himself in his final moments. Loki makes it to Valhalla. He proved himself a hero in the end or something.
Well, he did die a hero, assuming he did die in Avengers 3 Electric Boogaloo.
And they're all gods. If they're in Valhalla, you could always bring any of them back at any time if you want.
Well, but speaking of gods, it does raise the question, will we see any other pantheons in this? Because obviously that snap killed half of Olympus as well.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah, so could we see Hercules show up? Could we see
again if they kill Thor, bring in Hercules, Hercules to be the new Avenger.
Picking up that hammer. Of course, anyone can pick up that hammer if they're strong enough, and they are a god, because it would make your brain melt. So,
because I was going to say, if everyone retires and dies, I wonder if they're going to have replacements for each one. Like, you could bring in Hercules for Thor, and if Tony Stark retires, I mean, I think we said it already. Could we get Shuri in some armor?
Shuri in armor, that might.
Not that we need a new Iron person, because I mean, Rhodey could, if Cheetah wants to keep going, we could always have War Machine.
Well, I mean, I'd love him with the Iron Patriot look, though.
Or Tony.
I'd love him to come back as you retire Cap and Iron Man.
Tony could give him, Tony. It's a suit. Tony could give him that nanite suit.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, he could finally actually give Rhodey not
the best,
half-made
the best
knockoff
technology.
armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like really, Tony, maybe you ought to upgrade just so he doesn't die at the hands of Thanos again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, did you put a parachute in my suit, Tony? No? Okay. You put it in the kid's suit, not mine. Just saying.
I know.
My suit's actually meant to. I'm stealing that joke from how it should have ended, I believe. But it is still a legitimate argument to make. It's like, why was there no parachute in Rhodey's suit?
The best joke I saw online. It's like, oh, half the universe died, but Hawkeye still has time to get his hair styled at the salon every so often.
No, I've done that. You can do that yourself at home. That's
okay.
Easy.
Okay.
In fact, he might just be doing it himself. Speaking of which, and speaking of the first 20 minutes, I think that is the first scene, the scene of him with the girl with the bow and arrow. I think that is how the film opens. I think it's him on the family picnic. Ha 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 ha! Happy, 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 and then
they disappear.
Yeah, and then you cut to Japan. So like that's your first scene. Then it's like Avengers. And then the next scene we see is him in Japan, where Nat finds him, where he's killing people as Ronin.
So you don't think that girl's Kate Bishop?
No. I mean, here's what I'll say. It could be Kate Bishop. So maybe he is just hanging out with Kate Bishop there.
Because again, if all those original Avengers die or retire, I mean, that could be his replacement.
Yeah, well, but also his daughter could be his replacement too.
True.
And not for nothing. And and you can merge the characters, but that his daughter's name is Kate.
Yeah, but I don't think the daughter was it Age of Ultron? Because everyone's saying, oh no, her name was Lila or something.
It could be Lila Kate. Bishop Barton.
It's an assumed that Kate Bishop's an assumed identity, like protection or something.
But as an example, his wife's maiden name could have been Bishop. So she could be a Bishop Barton. Because I'm sure she, wants to hyphenate. And then her middle name could be Kate. And she's, I always like Kate better.
There you go.
So she's Kate Bishop Barton. There you go. See how easy that is to write?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's only if you need her to be a millionaire industrialist, unless you want her to be an Oliver Queen pastiche too. If you just want her to be a Hawkeye character, then it's easy enough to do. She doesn't have to be. Although who knows? Maybe Ms. Bishop Barton actually does come from money. You never know. Maybe that's how she met Hawkeye. Maybe he was her bodyguard, and they fell in love.
The bodyguard.
Oh yeah, ladies are always falling in love with their bodyguards. Yes. You know what? That song is actually originally from Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Oh, is it?
Yes. Well, I mean, Dolly Parton wrote it, but the first time it's actually used in like a movie is actually in Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. So I don't know if it was part of the original score of that movie or, actually it was a movie. Yeah, it was a musical movie first. So yeah, it was part of the original score. She had written the song, and I don't know if she wrote it for the movie, but that's where she first performs it, is in Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Great film, one of my favorites. Yes. So, but yeah, the Avengers trailer. I mean, this is sucking up all the oxygen in the room. It is, and we get nothing. We get nothing that we didn't already have.
That's what I'm saying. They're not showing a lot, and it's supposedly a 3-hour movie, so there is a lot. There's got to be a lot going on in that movie. Yeah.
Basically, most we get from this is that Captain Marvel shows up, which we knew, and she hangs out at Avengers compound, drinking coffee with the gang. It's these superheroes, they have a lot of downtime. One thing you got to say for these, we get these great adventures, but then there's probably a lot of downtime in between,
And I see people like, oh, is Tony Stark going to die in space? No, he's not dying in space alone. If he dies, it's going to be surrounded by the Avengers,
Yeah, well, obviously, anyone who thought Tony Stark died in space is just, it's like, you know, it's a possibility. It's like Thanos dying in the first 20 minutes of Avengers 3. It's a possibility, and maybe they're going to make us think that at some point, but, you know, they do undo it, you know.
It would be it'll be a big heroic death if it happens, and it's going to be him, you know, and then he'll linger enough to say goodbye to everybody, you know.
Yeah, and not for nothing, we already see at the end of it that he's back apparently within the first 20 minutes because they have their new suits.
Oh yeah,
and he's one of the guys walking in the new suits. Tristan pointed that out to me. Yeah, and yeah, they're you know, but Okoye is not. And that was one of the things I really wanted to check to see if Okoye was in there, because she does make the poster, even though apparently that's still not good enough for everybody.
I just wonder. I mean, we'll have Okoye, we'll have Nebula, and all that, but I wonder if, like, if they go into the quantum realm, if it's just going to be like those original Avengers and War Machine.
No, we'll have to see what they do. Like I said, but I think it's interesting that Okoye is not there, but she is on the poster, but that could be because Wakanda's in a much more dire straits, you know, because, you know, M'Baku love him, but he may not be the leader that Chadwick Boseman might have been, you know, as far as maintaining the society. And he also may say, no, Wakanda needs to be protected. We cannot help them. And then maybe there is a plotline with Okoye saying, but you know, these are the heroes, and we can, you know, there could be a whole conversation. And honestly, I am waiting for that M'Baku Okoye conversation. You know, because that's the thing.
Yeah.
I always want there to be way more conversations. And I think these two going at it about what the political status of Wakanda would be. And M'Baku can really throw it out there. It's like, look, we had to go through Killmonger. Killmonger destroyed the heart-shaped herb. We don't, you know, I am a great warrior, but I do not have the heart-shaped herb. And going into this whole thing about, you know, half of our people are gone. The world is at our doorstep. We need to protect our own right now. And we need to go back into where we were. We do not have to be out there. And Okoye was saying, but if we do not go out there, how will we avenge the heroes? And then he says, well, that is for the Avengers to worry about. And then she says, then maybe I shall be an Avenger. And then she goes, doo-doo-doo. And give me one of these boots.
But there, can you see the poster?
Yeah, I can see that. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Hold on.
But we lost it.
I got it. But no, I didn't even notice something until I saw somebody online saying it. Do you notice anything about the configuration that they're in?
I mean, not particularly. Why?
I mean, it's not perfect, but I guess it's like, oh, they're like kind of in an A shape.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Josh Brolin did get tapped on, so. Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was like the Thanos shit last time.
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, because I know that Okoye, that the actress who plays Okoye's name isn't up there, so. You know, that was the big controversy. But like I said, man, there's a lot of names up there.
I mean, there's so many people in this movie, and I mean, Hawkeye shows up this time.
Yeah. Well, here, the actor who plays Rocket, is his name at the top?
Yeah, I think it said Bradley Cooper as the voice of Rocket. I believe it said, yeah.
Okay, well then, yeah. So maybe there is an argument to be made, like, why is she the only one that got left out? But then again, she might have been a late ad, you know.
Yeah,
that is something that happens. It's like, oh wait, you know, we really, you know, let's get someone else on this. And
I just think it's like, because, you know, I don't think she was really known for movies until now, because she's on Walking Dead. Is she in plays or something? But yeah, I don't think she's been like. I think they put all the quote unquote movie stars on the.
Well, is what's her name? The actress who plays Nebula, is her name at the top?
Let me see. I'll bring this back up. Was that Karen Gilliam or whatever?
Yeah.
No, wait. She is on her picture is on there.
Yeah, her picture is on there. Yeah.
Bree. Yeah, she's on there. She's like the third from.
So yeah, so they really are running out of excuses for that. Okay, so you know what? I may have to stand here and say, you know what? That is kind of a weird thing that they didn't. But then again, if they added her in later, and for what it's worth, her picture is much more prominent than Nebula's picture.
Yeah, because I mean, she is like I should bring this back up. She is like on the end, so I mean, they could have just added her picture at the last minute.
Yeah, they might have added her later, and maybe it's one of these things where they designed the posters and then realized, what, that Mbaktu Okoye scene, that is huge for our overall story. We should definitely add her in there so people know that this is an Okoye story as well. As much,
because I mean, can you see her on the side there? Yeah, they easily could have just
and in fact, it looks like a digital insert, So, well, I mean, they're all digital inserts. Everybody there. It's not like they what? Dude, we need Robert, can you make your head bigger?
But no, I'm just saying she's not like in the middle somewhere. Yeah, she's off to the right. That was easy to.
Yeah, honestly, it also looks like Nebula kind of got added in.
Maybe, yeah.
But she's also smaller than that. So it's like, if they had put her name at the top and made her in the Nebula spot, and said, of course they make her the smallest character.
No, I just think it's like, oh no, she, one, we don't have the room, and two, she's the TV actor, not the movie actor,
Yeah, but so is that, but so is Terry Gilliam. So, because she's just the girl from Doctor Who.
Yeah, I thought she was another movie. I thought she was in some movie or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, not one that as a Marvel fan I'm gonna know off the top of my head. I know that she's the girl from Doctor Who.
Well, plus
I'm sure there's a lot of people who know that Okoye is the actress from Walking Dead, apparently.
Yeah.
Which is a show I do not watch, but other people apparently do, and they like it.
Plus Nebula was in 2 Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Okay, yeah, but she was in. So she was in Black Panther. Actually, no, because she was also in Civil War too. Isn't that the same actress? Wasn't she the same actress who plays the guard in Civil War, or was that a different actress?
I don't know. She might be. Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was the same actress through all 3 films. So yeah, honestly, you're losing all the argument.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, she's as big an actress as but maybe that's why maybe they said, we can't fit. It's like the print's getting too small if we put another name up here.
I'm sure it's just something like, who has the highest, what is that, Q rating or whatever.
Yeah, or like Lilith said, that the agent didn't push that her name be at the top of the poster. And if it was really one of these things where they weren't really expecting her to be on the poster at all, then it makes sense that the agent wouldn't have even asked for that. So. True. And at that point, it's like, well, we want to add her in because she is important to the story, and we actually, she actually is getting more in there. But but then how many names? It's sort of like that whole story about Sleeping Beauty, how they didn't want to invite Maleficent because they didn't have enough plates for everybody because one of the plates was chipped. Which honestly, give somebody else the chip plate.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, honestly, never really. Hey, King, why don't you eat off a chip plate? I'm the king. I can't eat off a chip plate. Really, you're back from the Crusades. How many chip plates did you eat off during the Crusades? I'm just saying, that's just vanity. That's just this sin of vanity, and that's caused that whole mess because they had to. I guess there's more to the story in the actual Maleficent movie if you watch it, which I have not yet with Angelina Jolie. But I'm just going by the original Disney record album of the Sleeping Beauty story, where they give that backstory.
All right. Well, let's. We briefly mentioned the What If series. So.
So Disney. This is one of the things Disney's adding.
We briefly mentioned.
I wasn't talking to you. Oh, I wasn't talking to you.
Oh, so you're a robot.
Yeah.
Jumping in there. Yeah, robots. What are you gonna do, man?
Shut up, robot. But yeah, What If they're doing an animated What If on Disney Plus. Yeah, and I think they said if they do any of the characters from the MCU, they're gonna try to get the actual actors to voice the animation.
Yeah, and that is an interesting deep dive from Disney because. Not for nothing, What If is the nerdiest book in existence. Because not only does it require you to have a knowledge of Marvel continuity, it needs you to know where in Marvel continuity things might have taken a turn differently.
Yeah, but in a way, is it like easier too because you don't have to worry about continuity? You can kill off whoever you want. It's basically a one and done, and it's not going to affect that, you know, any movie or.
And for what it's worth, it's a great way to start introducing people to the X-Men and the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
You know, because you can start off with what if. Now, here's what I wonder: are they going to be basing any of them off of the original What If books?
I don't know. Maybe.
That would be interesting, you know. We could do what if Jane Foster had found Thor's hammer,
or are we going to do one of your favorites if Loki had the hammer of Thor? Because I mean, Hiddleston's already on the payroll at Disney Plus, so I mean,
yeah, I've actually never read that one, and again, like I said, I don't know if that's necessarily that. Like I said, that's not the story I would tell. I would tell what if, because it's not so much about if Loki gets the hammer; it's what if Loki was Don Blake.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the overshadowing of the Don Blake character, I think, is. One of the things I think is, I don't want to say a weakness in the Thor movie, and they do a shout out to Don Blake, but they don't really give us what Don Blake was to the overall. It's like they make him just a little Easter egg as a gag in it instead of actually doing something with the story of Don Blake. You know,
yeah.
Because honestly, you could even do Thor without his powers as a Don Blake kind of character, but you know.
Yeah,
but that would have been its own interesting thing. So, but then that's hard to get to in a 2-hour movie, because then you've got to establish who Don Blake is and get that to have him meet Jane Foster, have him go to the hammer, and that's an interesting story too. But that is not what we did. You know, and I wonder if they're also going to do stuff that's based on MCU. The MCU continuity.
Oh,
so it'll be, you know, what if the Chitauri had conquered Earth, kind of thing. What if Thanos had conquered the Earth in Avengers 1? What if the Avengers had not defeated them? You know, that would have been, you know, that might be an interesting tale to tell. There's lots of possibilities. That's the great thing about What If. And I really think what this is Disney Plus's answer to CBS, CBS All Access's Twilight Zone and Netflix's Black Mirror. So I think that basically, while Disney was doing this thing, you know, we need something to put on here that's going to be our
Twilight
twisted
Zone.
our twisted anthology, and probably that's when someone said, well, why don't we do What Ifs? You know, it still fits into our brand. It fits into the Marvel section of our brand. And we can tell some really great twisted tales, you know, and it's something no one else can do because we are utilizing a certain continuity and a universe that nobody else has access to.
And you don't have to worry about continuity. You want to do some kind of weird twisted Iron Man story, you can do it.
Exactly. You can do What If Dr. Doom was Iron Man?
Mm-hmm.
That's another one of my favorites. I don't know if ever where Dr. Doom and Iron Man switch brains, and that's a good episode.
I wonder if they're going to do that. If they could do, they could do that in either What If, or if we're going to get some kind of live action version. We're going to have Doom. I wonder if we're going to get some kind of infamous Iron Man shout out somewhere.
Well, you know, if Tony Stark retires.
Victor Von Doom.
Oh, wouldn't that be a great idea that we actually get first introduced to Victor Von Doom as the infamous Iron Man?
Oh, yeah. Then he goes bad.
Well, you know, he was never that good to start with, you know.
Yeah. I mean, he had little character flaws, but they just kind of grew.
Well, yeah. Well, exactly, because despite what, you know, Tyler tried to imply that, you know, having mutants in the MCU would make those who gained powers seem less special. It's like, no, because it's never about the powers. It's about how you deal with the powers.
It's not the power, it's the responsibility. Well,
exactly. It's not the power, it's the responsibility. And that was the lesson forgotten in Aquaman, as well as possibly the lesson not really internalized by the wisdom of Solomon in Shazam.
Okay, I'm sorry. I know she's probably gonna listen to this. Lilith, I'm sorry, but how can you think Aquaman's a better movie than Captain Marvel?
Because she doesn't like Captain Marvel because
I know.
Yeah, because she has made a choice.
I'm not saying Captain Marvel's perfect, but I mean, at least I was rooting for Captain Marvel.
Yeah, well, here's what I'll say. I mean, I will say that I think the visuals in Aquaman were really great.
Oh, yeah, it was a pretty movie. Yeah,
but... I'll do this. As a popcorn movie, I will say that Aquaman might be a better film if you just want to watch, explosions and eat popcorn. Yeah, it's fine.
Well, the rest of it was fine, but like we were saying, I didn't like Aquaman.
No, Aquaman was a very
the character, yeah.
And Liz would say, "I'm not here to talk to Aquaman."
Just look at him.
It's I mean, hey, I'll give that. Goodness knows I sat through what was that film with like the 10% of your brain that Scarlett Johansson was in?
Oh yeah, I forget the name, but
yeah, Morgan Freeman and Scarlett Johansson and 10% of their brain. And I sat through that whole dang movie. And I enjoyed it, but yeah, I did not. The science was awful. It was just bad science, and which to me is as bad as being a bad superhero. But and honestly, that was like my biggest annoyance in Captain Marvel. And I'll say that they kept on referring to it as a light speed engine.
Oh yeah.
Because that gives you nothing in cosmic distances. It's basically like saying, we have developed, the 10 sailed ship. It's like, yes, it is moderately faster than the ships we already have. And light speed would be great. So, for example, if you had even something that could go significantly faster than light within a single star planetary system, you can travel that great, and that's perfect. If you could do like 10% of light speed, you can get to every planet in our solar system in a very reasonable amount of time. But you're not going to get that far beyond our solar system. We're talking at least 6 months to the nearest star. And then, it's like, well, no, not 6 months, like 6 years to the nearest star, rather, if you have a significant amount, because the nearest star is 1 light year away. So even if you had a light speed engine, it's going to take you a year to get to the next star. So it's not really a useful device when you're talking about stellar distances. It's great for planetary distances, not for stellar distances. So, had they just said faster than light speed engine, which is what they usually call these things, then it makes sense. But just saying it's a light speed engine, But then again, or to be more specific on the whole concept. See, and that's the thing that's like weird. I could see why she would tell Project Pegasus she's working on a light speed engine, and that's where she needs access to the Tesseract. It doesn't make any sense for the Kree or the Skrulls to be talking about light speed, because they all know, unless like there's planets in their stars in their solar systems, their galaxy, that part of the galaxy are super, super close together. It really doesn't make a lot of sense, And clearly they're already traveling faster than light because they are doing jumps, and so maybe, you wouldn't have to use these jumps and something. I don't know what they're looking for in that, but it's, the light speed engine, that is my big complaint for it. But then again, Brie Larson, much like 10% of your brain, makes it, I can overlook it.
She's a pilot, not a scientist. Come on.
Yes. Yeah. Well, there you go.
But I was going to say, do you want to talk some comics?
Let's talk some comics. You want to talk Avengers No Road Home?
Sure.
I mean, that is talk about you're burying your lead here. So we got 2 great things in this. Of course, we have Knox being, look how powerful I am. I took the thing. Wait, how do I make this thing work? Which I love. It's like, that's my favorite thing here. Like, I've regained the shard. How do I get the power out of my shard? I have a shard. I don't know what to do with it. Like, do I eat it? Do I break it? Which is just, it just shows the ridiculousness of that. And this is just the best. Nightmare Hulk.
Yes.
I want Hulk as Lord of Nightmares. I don't know, man. It is a pretty awesome idea. Where basically Nightmare joins up with the Hulk to defend against Hypnos, who is such a sad, sad character. You even see him, fight on, my minions, while I go seize victory. And just so outmatched. And that's what you love about it is these beings just being completely outmatched. That's just what if you're ever going to have a dream state Hulk, if you're going to have a cosmically empowered Hulk, that is what you want there. And of course, we get Scarlet Witch doing her incantations with of course Captain Marvel converting herself into neuro energy. Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau. Oh, that would be so funny if in Avengers 4 Electric Boogaloo they actually do have Monica Rambeau and she's going by Captain Marvel.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Marvel. It's like, well, I guess I can't be Captain Marvel anymore if you're back as Captain Marvel.
You've been going for 20 years. I thought you were dead.
Yeah, I'll just go by Photon. That was my mom's name. Anyway, but we get and this is another one of these moments I love where the whispering monster, the one that makes you feel bad about yourself, attacks Hercules, and he's like, "You do realize I have nothing left to lose, and depression is not really an anti-motivator for me." So that is amazing. You get all these great things, and then of course, with our big thing after we have beat up poor old Hypnos, and just Hulk cracks his neck.
Oh yeah, go to sleep.
Different for gods though. Yeah, and it is a dream realm, so we don't know if this actually kills people or not.
And then it looks like they dust Hercules and Vision,
Infinity War. Go full Thanos on it for you. Here we go. And then
Charlie's favorite part, the very last
the
scene.
Doorway for poor old blind Scarlet Witch, and she's still blind in this scene, right? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so she is still blind in this scene, and goes back, and she gets saved by some mysterious figure. By Crumb! Yay!
Conan!
The first Avenger, yes. Conan continued, yes. Yeah. This is the thing. I gotta think Disney actually owns the rights to Conan again.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, why Sonya's out there somewhere else, who knows? But you know what? For what it's worth, even in the first Red Sonja movie, they never actually mixed Conan and Sonya.
Yeah.
Because Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't playing Conan in the Red Sonja film. So clearly there's some kind of interesting rights issues going on with Red Sonja where they really can't have... Honestly, maybe Marvel's the only people that can put Red Sonja and Conan in the same book at this point. I don't know. Because she's not actually based off of an original Haggard. I mean, she is inspired by an original Haggard story, but she isn't. But the characters are two very different beings. The Sonya in Haggard's original book, she's a pirate in like the 1700s or 1800s, not a Hyborian age warrioress. But anyway, I gotta imagine Disney got the rights to Conan as a character back, assuming that Conan isn't just in public domain now, which is another possibility. Because they did have a big thing where all of the characters from the 1930s, I think, and Conan might have been a 1930s character, 1930s pulp, just came into public domain again. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure about that, but I think maybe Disney did buy them, and certainly I don't know if that would extend to movie rights. But if the Haggard estate still owns the movie rights, maybe Disney made them an offer they couldn't refuse. And so I got to assume for Disney to bring Conan back and to reintegrate him back into Marvel continuity in this way suggests that Disney has the rights and is not afraid to lose them. And that tells me that we may get a Disney or an MCU Conan film.
By Crumb.
Conan in the MCU. That would be amazing. And you know what's actually the best part about this? Why Scarlet Witch goes to the Hyborian Age? Because that is before the gods.
Oh, nice.
And remember, this is before the mythos of the Olympians. I mean, we do know that Thor exists at this point in time, but he's not actually worshipped as a god in this time. This is a time. Yeah. This is actually, I think, if you actually like look at the timeline, this is actually like, well, this is before the time of Atlantis. So there's like continents that haven't drifted where they're supposed to be yet. There is an interesting about the Hyborian Age, and how you break down Marvel Comics time in general, and because what for what it's worth, in the Marvel Comics universe, everyone says, oh, they have humans and dinosaurs interacting. It's like, yes, because the dinosaurs didn't go extinct in that universe. Booyah! And so the idea of a Conan in the MCU, a Conan MCU film. That, oh man, and there's a time to bring in Reed Richards and time travel and Ramatut.
You could even test the waters with that What If series, because you could always do what if Conan, walked the earth today or whatever.
Oh, my favorite book. My favorite, man. Get David F. Walker on the phone.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, Walker on the phone. Yes, that's what I'm saying, man.
Hell, let David Walker write the movie.
Oh heck! Oh, he would be great in that. Oh, either of them. Either. I would love to see David Walker's take on Conan, or David Walker's take on Conan in the modern age. I think either one would be amazing. Honestly, I really want to see more Red Wolf too. Red Wolf and Tilda, man.
Wait a minute. I'm looking through.
That's a book I want to read.
I'm looking through some of these comics. I must have missed this solicit when I was reading the books. Did you see the solicit for Journey in the Mystery #1? It's like a War of the Realms tie-in.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And the name, the first name is the McElroys, and I'm like, who are the McElroys? Did you see the description for the McElroys at the bottom of this page?
Oh wait, let me find that one. I have a different solicit in this book. Which book is that?
Well, I'm in Iron Man, so.
Oh, in Iron Man, yeah, I might not have that one in front of me today. There it is. Podcast Superstars, the McElroys.
Why can't we write a book? Podcast Superstars.
Well, you know what, Phil? Have we actually sent any submissions to Marvel Comics recently?
I thought they didn't take outside submissions.
They don't take our outside submissions, but if you're a podcast superstar and you have connections with certain writers in the room. But we'd have to have a completely finished book to pitch. That's our biggest problem, Philip, is we don't have an artist. Tristan is doing his best. And Tristan has told me, I can draw it. We can write it together, and I'll do the drawings. And I said, I would love that, Tristan. And he's a pretty good artist, so I think he needs maybe 1 or 2 more years to hone out his. Unless Ben is a lovely artist too, but he's Ben he likes to keep his art to himself. So
yes.
But yes, so we need an artist. I mean, or we need to actually just start writing more stuff. And honestly, that's the thing. If I actually wrote stuff like I say I'm going to, which I never do, we might actually be writing comics now, Philip. But I'm lazy,
we all have to get to work on that.
Yeah, so we all need to do more writing.
Okay, but speaking of, so you said you read Tony Stark Iron Man #9?
I read Tony Stark Iron Man, and speaking of the 60s. It's the Iron Man cartoon, which I love, just in the theme song. Completely insane quality that there is no reason for this story to exist in Marvel continuity unless you're basically lampshading sliding time.
Oh, okay.
That maybe Motherboard is aware of sliding time, and Tony has like an unconscious memory of it, but that all this, because really the qualities of the 1960s Iron Man cartoon, which are delightful, don't get me wrong, they're 100% delightful, they could not really exist in a Marvel in a Marvel continuity in which Tony Stark was born in 1988.
I just looked at it as it's like Tony Stark's ideal world,
Yeah. Well, I mean that's what it is, but it's interesting, that he's fighting Russian spies and the Soviets. Basically, it's very clearly meant to be, with the slang and the way that everyone's talking, it's meant to be that 1960s universe.
And he's wearing the chest plate under his suit. Yeah.
Yes. So your village just wait while you change clothes.
Oh, robot Machine Man, yeah.
Yes, Russian Trollbot.
When Amanda's like, yeah, make a distraction, yeah. And
yes.
Machine Man, bow before the Socialist Republic, capitalist pig dogs. Call me Russian Trollbot. I am your vodka power too.
That is awesome. And and then Motherboard comes. Like I said, I love the fact that this is all just a glitchy motherboard.
Yes.
That basically the controller's scheme messed it up. And, and I also, it's neat to have the controller be kind of, although the impetus for the main drama, to be just a secondary villain in this, to have his Grandmaster scheme be basically sort of the B plot, because very much the A plot is Tony human.
Yeah,
which
I think the controller's just there as our story point, or how we get a glitchy motherboard.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I do find this: am I really human? And I think maybe this is the deeper point of it, is like, what do you think makes you human and not everyone else? And I kind of got that sort of what Machine Man Aaron Stack is saying in this. Is like, when he's like sort of berating Amanda about how can I reach him, it's like, you do understand you are his actual mother, and you do understand that there is this connection to you, and you can reach him. And then with Motherboard saying that you're only real, that your actual body isn't real anymore, that is the creation, this is the real you, this is where your realist self, overlooks the fact that he is real, that he has, and for a guy like Tony Stark, who I think is officially an atheist, even in the comic books, to be asking questions about whether or not he has a soul seems ridiculous. Although I guess after you've been dead, maybe you start to ask questions like that.
I think it was more like, it's like soul. When he says soul, I think it's like, I'm not the same person I was before I died.
Yeah, and I guess I can follow that as a plot line, but I just feel that I don't feel that. I think it's a very biocentric view of life.
Yeah.
And I think that is a common trope and misconception of a lot of stories, or to be more specific, it's a trope that is used in stories to highlight the ridiculousness of it. Is that essentially a straw man meant to be knocked down, because clearly Aaron Stack is alive. Clearly Jocasta is a living being. That they have some quality that is manufactured is not problematic. And I go back to this great point, and it was, I forget, I think it was in recent Fantastic Four. Well, yeah, recent, when they had the sleepwalker, because they have to enter the dream realm, because it was Franklin's pocket universe had sort of gone nuts. Dream Pocket Realm had gone nuts, and they team up with the Human Torch, the original Human Torch, in that. And Sleepwalker says, yes, all creatures with souls dream, just like Mr. Hammond here. And he's like, what? I have a soul? It's like, yeah, well, what did you think you had? And again, a purely artificial being, but a being that was designed to be human.
Yes.
That the Horton cells were basically manufactured cells, but that would mimic human cells, and so he is alive and human, and also forgets stuff. Which, of course, is ironic about that, because when he says that in Invaders 2, Cap's like, yeah, I have eidetic memory. I remember everything perfectly, and it is a horrifying curse. But you don't want to. You don't want to dwell on that. You know.
No.
Every last death rattle. Yep, I remember him.
All right, we're going long.
Every Nazi who called for his mom.
We're going long, but do you want to? Before we go, do you want to talk Old Man Quill?
Yeah, let's talk Old Man Quill real quick. Old Man Quill. Honestly, of the Old Man series, is probably my favorite. Because what I like about it is it kind of takes, because first off, it is sort of this aftermath of the previous stories. Yes. And I love that we have this is Hawkeye's granddaughter by Spider-Man's daughter, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, she's a third generation superhero, which I love. Because I remember they first introduced her in Old Man Logan, because she was the last villain taking over this place, you know. And so I like, you know, she has some spider powers, but not a lot. But maybe she's good with a bow and arrow. I don't know. Because that was Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man's daughter in that universe, because obviously he had another daughter, which actually suggests that he survived the initial attack. Which means that the heroes actually did not all get wiped out in that first night. So there actually were heroes that kept on surviving, because clearly Spider-Man kept on surviving. Obviously, hey, Spider-Sense comes in handy. Met up with an African-American woman. They never say who that African-American woman was, but had a daughter with her, who eventually gave birth to this one. So, yes. And, you know, it's great. You know, we get Peter Quill beat up a bunch of bikers, which is always fun. And yeah, I gotta say, Doom does not keep a good control on this. Of course, assuming that's even Doom, not just a Doom bot, you know?
Yes.
That, I think, is our biggest question. And like, I cannot wait for them to get to the Baxter building. And they give Quill one of two gun kids guns.
Yes, I knew you'd like that.
Yeah, that I love. I just love, you know.
The other one's missing, but yes, there's the other one.
Yeah, gee, I wonder where that one is. They just call him the two gun. Well, you know what's, because that, you know, it's not the two. Was it the two gun kid who is currently in modern Marvel continuity, who got brought forward by She-Hulk? Or was that the Rawhide kid? No, it's not Rawhide kid.
Was the two gun kid the one with Hawkeye?
The two gun kid. Yeah, the two gun kid was friends with Hawkeye for a while, but after. So, well, when Hawkeye was dead, after Disassembled, he's the guy that got Hawkeye's flying motorcycle. I'm pretty sure that was the two gun kid. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm confusing them, but yeah, it sounds.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because no, Rawhide Kid is the one with the blue, who they did. They redid his story where he's very gay, which I'm fine with, man. I'm fine with Rawhide Kid being gay. He's certainly.
I just love how you say very gay.
Yes. Well, meaning that he feeds into certain stereotypes of the male gay community, and revels in it. He is a character who does not hide from his own nature, and honestly probably does it in to a grand extent to antagonize those who would judge him harshly for it.
I'm sure.
Yes, and so I think Two Gun Kid is the one that was actually brought to the future, though obviously so maybe that's where the other gun went. The other gun came to the future with the Two Gun Kid. I'm not sure, because I'm sure there's Kid Colt was the other one. So it was Kid Colt, Two Gun Kid, and Rawhide Kid were the three mainstays of the Marvel Cowboy universe. And Two Gun Kid was the one. He's the one that was actually the fastest draw ever, to where he even that guy with the arm that's a gun.
Oh
yeah. He actually outdrew one of those guys.
Bushmaster.
Yeah. So it's like, it's like that's my actual gun. It's like, yeah, I know, but I'm the Two Gun Kid. So yeah. Although I think he's using laser guns now because it's the future. But obviously, one of his two guns is now in Mr. Quill's hands, so that will come back before the end of something, I'm sure. And they have to go to the Baxter Building to get the MacGuffin. Gladiator, who is, you know, right there, Gladiator. He's one of the evil cult members. You know, because what if Superman joined a cult? Yeah, and they're gonna bring. Of course, the fun fact is they're actually gonna bring him to Doom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which, well, gee, why didn't we just think of this beforehand? Let's just go to Doom directly. Actually, no, they're not bringing him to Doom. They send him to the Gladiatorial.
Yes, the Gladiatorial at Fisk Lake City.
Yeah, Fisk Lake City. Yep. And Cadet America. Cadet America just wants to be a hero. Maybe we can all team up. I hope Cadet America survives this. Those Spider-Woman says, you know, are you kidding? Have you seen yourself? You're going to be the first to die. Which just tells me that Cadet America has to keep on living. And then we see the big reveal that what they're fighting is a mind-controlled Fin Fang. Yeah, but you know, all I gotta do is knock that damn control disc right off his head, and suddenly he was saying, "Has anybody seen my pants? How dare you steal the pants of Fin Fang Foom?"
I'm just waiting for like Rocket to make some comment, be like, "Man, where's his pants?"
Oh, but anyway, yeah, you know. One thing we can talk about this just a little bit.
Yes.
Teaser that we were all getting. When two aggressive species share the same environment, evolution demands adaptation or dominance. Bum bum bum.
So, what are they talking about? Are they talking mutants? Are they talking Skrulls? Who are they talking about?
Well, you know, and dang it, where'd my Skrull book go? Because I did get the Meet the Skrulls book, which is neat. And definitely is trying to thread the needle on the nice guy Skrull image we just got in Captain Marvel without discounting historical Skrullishness. So I thought it's a good book. It's a fun book. It's about a secret cell of Skrulls trying to essentially find a way to not be detected by humans because, you know, humans are crazy. Humans be crazy. Just ask Lex Luthor. I'm Lex Luthor, and I'm crazy. That's one of Tristan's favorite things on YouTube right now is the dubs of films, and they do the Justin and just, I'm Lex Luthor, I'm crazy. Can I have some kryptonite to weaponize? Sure. Here's a lollipop. Oh goodness, Lex Luthor. That was just such a crazy.
All right, should we get out of here? I didn't time it. I'm pretty sure we're over an hour.
Yeah, probably somewhere around there. Okay, Philip, if people would like to talk to you about how crazy you are, how can they do so?
Well, if you have any weaponized kryptonite, you can always email me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com, and on Twitter, I am @nightwingpdp.
And you know, nobody bothered Bruce Banner or not Bruce Wayne about getting weaponized kryptonite. So I don't know why it was so hard for Lex Luthor. That's all I'm saying. In the meantime, in the nice time, if you'd like to write to me, you can do so in the old-fashioned email way. The way our Miles and Pause once said at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And of course, follow me on the Twitters. @Charlie Esser, that's CharlieEsselCR. Look for the two E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
There you go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for connecting with us. Please, super connect with us again next week. Good night.
Good night.
There you go. Yeah, honestly, the idea of a Conan MCU crossover really, really intrigues me. Oh, there's your end credit scene.